Why is there a big pile of rocks here? Oh, it's because Austin disc golf is ever growing, and even the older classic courses are getting that constant work, which is keeping Austin as one of the best disc golf cities in the US. This is day 19 of Vlogmas. I'm Connor O'Reilly, and we're at Marymoor Searight Park to show you guys one of the best courses, just one of the most played courses in South Austin. I believe only 2 par 4s on the track, and it's a lot of fun out here. Technical wooded golf through some low junipers and some smaller oak trees and elms and other stuff. But yeah, it's a beautiful track and a lot of ace opportunities, so maybe today will be that day. Don't forget, code Connor at OTB Discs is going to save you money with free shipping and help you to get any of the discs that I'm throwing today to try out yourself. Hole one's 300 feet across this dried up creek bed. There used to be 3 more trees really in the way, making this middle line a little bit more crowded. Now it's rather wide open. I've always liked the spike hyzer with the right hand backhand here, and notable that we have like 18-mile-per-hour wind today, so some of the over the top routes are going to be tricky. I'm going Captain's Raptor. Man, parked it a little bit left, might have got the ace. Yeah, pardon the noises in the background, we got tons of mulch being dropped off. Ooh, I think that's our dig mark right there, maybe. This one was right in line. And I mentioned the growth of the Austin disc golf scene. Pretty much every day, somewhere in Austin, you can find yourself some weekly action. I'm gonna go play the mini later today. Every Wednesday, they have a mini out here. $400 ace pot going right now, and I think they have some backup, so even if it gets hit by me, when it gets hit by me today, there'll be another one next week, and maybe I'll see you there and we can duke it out. You can see if you can beat the shoulder bag bandit. You know what? Speaking of the mini, I'm gonna card up with my guy Zane later, who dyed me this Bulbasaur disc, so description below has his info. If you want to hit him up, get one of these dyes yourself. 282 feet. I'm going Watt. Tailwind from the north. Little flat out of the hand, but pretty good disc selection. Caught some rocks there at Circle's Edge, slid on in. Wow! I let that tailwind just absolutely get after me there. That's my one miss, you know. Had to warm up. Need to remember this Texas wind can be legit sometimes. Time to make up for that lost stroke and go big bird here with the eagle. One of 2 par 4s here on hole 3. 543 they call it, from tee to green. If you have a big flexing shot that gets a little bit lucky on the last big tree on the right side of the fairway as you enter the green, you can get up there. I'm gonna throw this drive up in the sky, let it just move to the right for me. I think the wind is coming from the left up there, but we're kind of guarded, so you can't feel it that well on the tee. Yes, that's exactly what we're looking for, y'all. Yeah, and I hit the last tree that I was talking about that you can't really skillfully get past. We bit off about as much as you can chew here. Let's see if we can throw it in. After those mean ice storms a couple winters ago, they finally have come through, cleared out a lot of the space, so Marymoor Searight is as open as it's ever been on certain holes, especially hole 3. If you want that eagle, you kind of got to scream it below this tree I was talking about that you need to get lucky on if you're going the big high air shot. Either way, this is a money drive. We'll stand still, Faith. Go in. Drop. Oh! Played the wind so nice. Tailwind kind of slow in the disc, letting it fade at the end. And that Page Pierce drive has glide for days. If you want to check out one of these faiths, hit me up either through Instagram, Facebook, or email. And you can try one out yourself. Great backhand approach discs. Hole 4 is 228 feet, tucked just to the right. You got to play the gap straight and fade late. You do have these juniper logs on the ground blocking the slide up play, so you got to clear to the green. And even then, there's some roots there that don't guarantee a good skip. I'm going to go rubber blend zone, little forehand. Ideally, I'm checking, hitting the ground about 15 feet short of the basket, maybe jumping in. Come on, jump straight. Oh my God. Literally did what I told you guys to do, and we caught chains. Didn't get it to stick, but I'm saving it for the $400 ace spot later, so we'll hit chains as much as we want today. We're going to keep it out of the basket, save that one for later. No, screw that. We're going to make it now and then. Have your cake and eat it too. Pull out the leveling kit. The cage leans up on this side. If it was straight, I was going to make it. No, I got robbed. No, either way, great shot there. Threw it exactly the way I wanted to, and I'm happy with that. Always exciting to catch some chains off the tee. Hole 5 is 185 feet, also tucked to the right like the last hole. This one, though, requires you to go up into the skies, spike it down. One tree kind of blocking the front side of the basket, and then the land kind of bowls up behind the basket, so pretty safe to run the ace here. We're going to send Miss May up to that catch cam position because I have a feeling this rubber blend zone is hunting for chains. All right, wind at our face. Pop it on the fingers quick. 45-degree hyzer. Drop. Oh, that had such a good line, but a little too much juice on it. Oh. Tough not to score two on a 185 footer, but part of the trick of this hole is popping it firm, but also not putting too much speed on it because it is only 185 feet. At only 184 feet, hole 6 is straight ahead of you, begging on an ace run. But it does drop off a little bit behind the basket, so if you give it a chain height run, you're likely to be circle's edge best. This one was part of the Another Round Austin's ace bounty list, so pretty cool here. Love this shot. I'm going with my faith. And I'm going to go standstill. Just needed a little bit more flex out of the hand, but the standstill helped me to have the perfect pace to where I could give it an outside chance, put it close. After two par threes in a row, bending to the right and then a straight shot, now we balance it out with a shot curving to the left here, 249 feet, basket a little bit out of sight there on that left side tree line. One tree to beat out here on the wide side. I like to go for the low skip play with the backhand overstable mid-range, like the Mutant, should help me get a little check skip. Skip in the basket. No, it just stayed on the ground, never jumped up. I'm a little ace drunk. We want one. You know what? I'm taking my disc flip. Give me a little bit of room off this juniper. I like you, buddy, but not that freaking much. Come on. Nice and firm. I wanted to go take that birdie. I wasn't going to let it come to me. Hole 8's 231 feet. Straight as the arrow flies. Basket's shaded right now, so it's a little hard to see. You have these leaning oak tree creating a ceiling that makes this one really hard to ace for as short as it is, and creates some tricky putting windows depending on what portion of the green you find yourself. I'm gonna go with that Bulbasaur dyed Watt. Hyzer flip into the headwind. Got the hyzer, got the flip, that's for sure, and caught the base of that leaning oak. We got a putt, but I probably should have bumped up in stability with this much wind today. A little lesson from the mini later. I played a faith shot just as the adjustment more overstable into the headwind, and you can see the results there, so might be what I'm going to later when I come back. This tree really forcing me into the straddle here. Oh, you gotta want it. You gotta be more center, buddy. Megan undefeated. She makes them all. Hole 9 is probably the hardest birdie to get out here. 390 straight on a rope. Low ceiling with these juniper canopy and thick woods either side. I'm gonna go with that Athena into this little bit of wind we got. Man, as I season that thing in, it's gonna be so money. But even as is, it held up nice into that headwind. Kept us in the middle. I thought I was gonna get more carry, but it kind of just, I don't know, I hit a ghost wall somewhere up there. Respectable drive here. Really been falling in love with this Athena for those laser lines. Spin, disc, spin! That's right. 3's gonna play fine here. This is a hole that's pretty legendary too if you get it. It's a lot harder than it looks, I promise. Save my birdie for later out here at hole 9. Hard to get to in a day. Hole 10 is a tricky par 3. If you play the low shot, it's going to be a very low ceiling throughout the entire flight, and it's going to be the most narrow gap. A lot of players like to go over the gap here, stall fade something back in. Left miss is better than right miss, so I'm going to go mutant because of that. Just going to pop it out there flat on that fan grip. Let it do what it does. That disc is a straight up brick. I'm like 30 short. A little too soft there, but the line was what I wanted. I'm gonna take the data of the last couple of times I've played this one. I've either been short or right. Usually right is my miss. I'm gonna pump this one later. Try to have my goal be missing long, if anything. Oh my God, I thought that was so good out of the hand, but never got that tailwind drop I expected. On a windy day like today, it is thick enough. There's gonna be pockets where you don't really feel it, but anytime you're going over the top, you gotta be mindful of that. Hole 11's 216 feet, tucked to the right here. Sets up well for a right hand forehand, left hand backhand, or a right hand turnover. Seems like we have some headwind, maybe the wind off the left here. I'm gonna go rubber blend zone, hyzer forehand. Nice committed pop, a little bit too committed I'd say. I'm gonna try one more in memory of Mr. Benjamin John Baloney. We're gonna try to get that ace for you, John. Stay up! Oh, well, it was a valiant effort. We tried, y'all. Nice and firm. Everything that the rubber blend zone is not. Just kidding. It's got a good firmness to it, nice and medium. Sticks on the ground, good stability with that puddle top. Check them out at otbdiscs.com. Hole 12 is going to be our second and final par 4 of the track, 471 feet. Starting with this wall of trees that you got to pick a gap on about 250 out. It steadily rises throughout the hole. A couple other obstacles as you enter the narrow, tight green. Really like this hole, and I've always wanted to it, so I'm going to go Kobe Bryant here. Try to put it close. Just rip it up the middle. We do have some headwind to keep in mind. Stay in the gap! Oh! That was the gap I was going for, and I just caught the wide right side. So about 250 feet off the tee. That leaves us maybe 250 to go, 270. Not the easiest approach left here. I'm gonna go color shift zone, hyzer forehand that stands up a little bit. There's that stand up. Got it to fight back. I'm finally figuring out that disc, and it's got a good flight to it. Uh-oh. He understands it now. Figuring out forehand and backhand on this color shift zone. Is that my new level up for today? I can now throw forehand with this disc. We got a new shot shape. Level 90, no, level 83 now. That's right. Hole 13, obviously a par 3 since we've played the 2 par 4s already. 250 feet up the hill here. You can see the band when you're standing here on the tee. Sets up well for a gently left to right moving shape. One that this Watt has been flying beautifully. Little overturn there. It's gonna slide up for a close putt though. That'll play for a miss. Quite a bit shorter than expected here. I'm outside the circle. Oh, thought I'd be cashed out there. Not quite. Gotta play a little flatter out of the hand on the tee there. Thanks, babe. Hole 14, get your math, get your geometry ready. You're gonna stand on the front of the tee box. About 39 degrees left. It's gonna be the basket placement. Spike hyzer, mutant. You almost can't miss left here, even though I might have just done it. Definitely caught the trees on the left short side of the green. We'll see if I have a good putt. Maybe I spoke a little too soon because for the first time in my life I missed left on this basket. Can't tell if I'm inside or outside the circle here. Where's my rangefinder? Are we outside the circle? Oh yeah, 38 feet to the pole. When I need it for this fall forward kneeling putt. We tried, y'all, we tried. Well, ate my words on that par. Hole 15 is one of the best views in Austin disc golf. Only behind probably bonus hole A at Austin Ridge. 330. You can play straight at it. You also have the wide spiking routes either way, which I typically like. I'm gonna go mutant out here to the right side. Pretty much jam it as hard as I can. Maybe even on a tiny flex. Let the wind bring it back late. Okay, I think I like that. Wow, that wind is real though. But I caught the trees just behind the basket. That's a money shot. Let's go. Good line off the tee there. Caught these back trees, so we were pretty close to the perfect distance. It's about as far as I can throw this disc. Not gonna lie to you guys. Downhill 8 330. Birdie always feels good here on 15. Hole 16 is 255. Very narrow if you're choosing to go up the gut. Almost everybody plays some form of an over-the-top shot here, whether it's this forehand or the backhand, which is probably the route less traveled. But my favorite route, I've been taking this one forever. Cap wrap, swinging in on that wind. Oh yeah, definitely gonna swing it into freaking Oklahoma. That was gonna be so far left, but the trees just gave me the members bounce back to the basket, and that's the type of stuff you get happening to your discs when you use code Connor at OTB. You throw shots, they end up in spots better than they deserve. Whack these trees on the left and got a very generous roll to just outside the bullseye. Let's go. Cap Rat been putting in work so far this Vlogmas, on and off the course, whatever that means. Hole 17 is only 216 feet. They should have just called it 217, if you ask me. But you know, it is what it is. Bend slightly right to left. Thick trees on either side. You do have unlimited airspace here to play whatever you want, but I've always liked just a little medium soft hyzer with my faith. That was a little bit too committed to the hyzer angle, but we got another little roll up forward a meter or so. We got a putt. There it is, nice firm one to get us to the final hole of the course. 18 can be elusive, but not today. Hole 18 is one of the harder birdies due to its shot shape moving from left to right, but then you got to finish flat to stay close here and not just be on the right side of the green. I'm gonna go color shift zone on some heavy anhyzer. Looking for it to flatten now. And hopefully it scoots left as it slides. We'll have some kind of a long look. A little closer than expected, and those are the kind of things you can expect when you use otbdiscs.com to get your Frisbees and find the right shot, the right disc for every course. Bang, finished with a birdie. Not sure what that was. Pretty solid score though. And a couple small adjustments to make for that mini later. I'm gonna get that ace. We were able to lick some chains today, had some close calls, and showed you guys one of the Austin classics here on the south side, Marymoor Searight Disc Golf Course. For OTB Discs, I'm Connor O'Reilly. Thanks you guys for watching. Thanks to Megan for helping us film this Vlogmas. We're getting down to the final stretch. Tomorrow is the second to last giveaway, so don't forget to enter that. We'll see you guys there.